Hey, good morning. Mic is on. It's Monday. Um, Welcome to Hobby Evolution. Where are we at? Episode 446. It is a Monday, the 20th day of December. I saw an interesting last night. I saw an interesting uh statistic regarding our snowfall, and I talked about this the other day that we've only had 1 inch of snowfall from October through uh, now December 20th, which is like an all-time one of well, if not the all-time record for least amount of snowfall, but like in the top five or whatever. They were talking about like green brown Christmases is what they called it, and showing temperatures and snowfall amounts on Christmases here locally. And 2019, we had 55 degrees, no snow, 55 degrees on Christmas Day. That same year, 2 years ago, 2019, we had 10 inches of snow in the month of October. We had 8 inches of snow on Halloween alone, 10 inches of snow in October, 8-inch blizzard on Halloween, and then 55 degrees, no snow on the ground on Christmas Day. So I'm stalling here talking about weather because I'm trying to bring up an email. I was doing some shipping. I've been up. I woke up super early this morning. I've been doing some shipping because today's Monday. Sunday I spend all day shipping. So I like to, and I also forgot the binder. I got to go get the binder. It's within eye shot. So anyway, so I'm going to have to step away here in a few minutes when I talk about the trade. Sunday's my ship day, and then so I get caught up on shipping, and then so I utilize Monday as my file exchange list day. Try to get 200 to 300 listings up in my eBay store. So today is going to be 1974 tops. I was going through some boxes over the weekend and found about 200. So I'm going to list some of those. It's also the day the cleaners come, so that means I have to leave the house for, well, I don't have to, but I'm going to leave the house for an hour. So on my post office run, I haven't checked my post office box in about a week because there's never a parking spot. If I would think by now it's not going to be as crazy. So I'll do my post office run, and then maybe I'll hit Target, Walmart, and just because I'm itching to rip something this week. It's Christmas week. I always open some boxes on Christmas week. I'm going to talk about my trade with Kurt. Kurt and I actually talked about Kurt because he was one of the packages I sent to him after our previous trade. I sent a couple packages of Pearl Jam trading cards, and they got destroyed, like mauled by a USPS forklift and all that. So we did a trade yesterday. He was driving from Minnesota to Michigan. He's hanging out in a hotel in Chicago. So Kurt, what's up? We had a great chat yesterday and an awesome trade. So I'm looking at my email because my next, before I get into that binder talk, totally unprepared. Wake up super early, go live, and this is what happens. So I'm trying to find the policy on the issue that I had over the weekend. By the way, what is up? Brad is in the chat. Herman's in the chat. Zach, what's up? David, Jenny, Low Roller. Good morning, everyone. Let's see. Back to a Monday work week. Was that a short joke? No chat for Zach. Have a great day to you. Herman's home with a sick little girl. That is no good. Jenny says, I would be curious tomorrow's episode, your thoughts on the Allen and Ginter submission for 2022. I think I know at least one person I sat with at a dinner at the National who may be in this year's Allen and Ginter. I see so many saying hobby people. I don't think Topps will do that. I don't think so either, unless they're on like I could see Ivan. So if Topps is going to do it, it's going to be influencer stat. The reason, and I get it from a business perspective, and I can save this for tomorrow, but real quick, I agree with your point on hobby, because there's not the clout, there's not 1 million followers. So I'll share more on Allen and Ginter tomorrow, because it is a fun. I love Allen and Ginter. We all know that. And it is something that we can talk about tomorrow. So I'm digging through this email, and I cannot for the life of me, and probably because I'm talking and not really paying attention to either. My attention is just kind of off in the abyss somewhere. I am not finding. Why is this not coming up? This is frustrating. Did I check this email? That email has nothing. So frustrating. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to find this email, and this might be the one. Nope, that is not. Anyway, so Kurt in the house. What's up? Good morning from a stinky hotel room. What is happening? So before I talk trade, I want to talk about the issue top loader gate over the weekend. So what happened was, if you weren't following along on Twitter, or I don't know, I probably touched on this yesterday. Anyway, I had a Pete Rose Leaf card from 2012, 99 cents with free shipping. Nowhere in my listings do I describe that how the item will be shipped. It's going to be shipped. How I ship is going to be in a penny sleeve, a card saver or top loader, inside a piece of paper, inside a plain white envelope for those that say ship PWE. In all of my PWE shipments that I send in PWE, the description states shipped in PWE, so people know. So this guy wanted, and he put in the message, ship in a top loader. Well, sometimes I don't have top loaders handy. Sometimes I don't have card savers handy. In fact, this morning I have 15,000 card savers, and I have my stack, and I went through one of the box of 200, and I was like in a flurry of shipping this morning, was out of card savers, and lo and behold, there's a top loader right over here. So somebody got a top loader, and that's how I ship. It's going to be protected whether it's in a card saver or a top loader. Anyway, this guy wanted a top loader. He wanted a top loader so bad he tried to extort negative feedback from me, sent me a message, and he said, "You sent this in a card saver, not a top loader. I'm going to leave you negative feedback unless you text me like within 24 hours that you're going to send it." So he wanted me to send a top loader to him. Now I could have sent him. I could have just picked up a used top loader and PWE'd it, and for 55 or a stamp, so it's 60 cents now, whatever it is, I could have avoided the problem. But you know what? It's about principle, and it was wrong on all accounts on his part, and so I fought it. I mean, I could have 60 cents, done, block him and move on. And normally, if that's probably, and here's what, do as I say, or do as I say, not as I do. Because if I would have seen, this issue come up over a 99-cent free shipping card, just refund the guy money and move on. And that's probably the advice I would give. But I was feeling salty. I didn't like the approach. It was completely wrong on all accounts for him to demand. He received the card in the conditions stated. Top loader, card saver, it's not part of the transaction. It's just a means to get the card that you ordered safely from point A to point B. That's all it is. It's not part of the transaction. So that message, hey, that's Facebook extortion, or Facebook feedback extortion. What's up, Ed? Good morning. So he said, whatever. And he goes, hey, I didn't get a refund because I told him I'm not sending him a top loader, and I didn't refund him. And I said, you received the item as stated. I'm not going to refund you, nor send you a top loader. So he said he was going to leave, and he doubled down. I'm going to leave you negative feedback. Okay, do it. Now, at least now I know it's coming, where it's not like a surprise, like, oh, this a-hole left me negative feedback. It's like, there it was 10 minutes later. Okay, report buyer. And then I went through and I talked about how it was the last instance where I had a negative removed. Super easy. I just filled out like a little survey type deal on eBay and submitted in like less than an hour. Now, caveat was it was during the work week and it was during business hours. So now here it's a Sunday afternoon rolling into Sunday evening. So I'm kind of at a disadvantage to get, this taken down quickly. So I report the buyer, and then it's like, yeah. So I'll type it in. User is ACA dash, there it is, ACIA dash 13. So and it's also on my Twitter as well. So I report buyer, and I'm like, it was a little more difficult to navigate, and I think because I was doing it on my phone. And I brought up Facebook. I keep saying Facebook. Why do I keep saying Facebook? Feedback extortion. So feedback extortion. Okay. And for some reason, so eBay sent me, and the email that I'm looking for from eBay states what they can do. What are the reasons they can remove feedback? So feedback extortion, and this is straight from eBay, the definition by eBay for eBay on feedback extortion. Buyers are not allowed to use threats of negative feedback or low detailed seller ratings to get something that wasn't part of the original listings. And sellers can't demand positive feedback from buyers. So threats of negative feedback to get something that wasn't part of the original listing. That definition of feedback extortion fits what happened to me to a T. He threatened me with negative feedback to get something that wasn't part of the original listing, which was a top loader. So I reach out to I finally found the submission form. I found the submission form to enter. And I stated my case, and I submitted. And guess what? In quick work, eBay responded, and they're like, "Hey, no, we're not going to remove your feedback." And they state, and I did save the picture on this one. They stated, "Thanks for blah blah blah. I understand that you want the comment left by your buyer to be removed from your account. Upon checking on this transaction, I see that your buyer left a comment that you feel is undeserved. As a seller myself," and so this is from one person, I resubmitted or responded to the email, and I got the same exact form letter from a person with another name, just a bot. I've looked into the feedback you've received for this item, and I have checked from our terms and policies that it is allowed under our policy. However, I've seen that you've done your part in trying to resolve your buyer's concern with this. I highly recommend that you continue communicating with your buyer. No, I'm not. We've crossed that bridge. He's going to leave me a negative feedback, and I'm going to fight it. That's where we're at. So I went to the chat. So that was the response from my initial form. I went to the eBay chat, like, "Hey, I want to talk to somebody, like a real person, not a bot that's going to send me a form letter, because I have to explain, because based on all this crap, they're not going to side with me." So I go to the chat, and blah 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 blah. Oh, well, this doesn't fall under my department. I have to get somebody from feedback or whatever. A couple minutes later, "Oh, sorry, it's COVID. We're short staffed." Hey, I get it. They're offline. We'll have to continue this offline. And that's when I get this bogus crap form letter. I respond with pictures of the definition of feedback extortion, the message that the buyer sent me, extorting me. And again, it's respond with the exact same form letter signed by a different name. So I'm like, damn it, I'm going to have to wait until tomorrow. I'm going to have to talk to a person. This is going to take 2 hours of my Monday trying to get a freaking that I could have solved with a 60-cent stamp or a 99-cent refund. So this is just me being stubborn and fighting this on principle. But hey, I've committed this much time into it. I'm going to go for broke. So not my last ditch attempt. My last ditch attempt for Sunday was, I'm just going to whine about it on Twitter and tag eBay into it. And of course, I get the bot that says blah, 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 blah. And so I said, and I'm kind of annoyed at this point, and I will say I've had mixed reaction to eBay, the Ask eBay account on Twitter. Uh, so I came out firing right off the bat, and I feel bad. Sorry, Kayla from eBay. Um, so I said, "Hello, I know you're just a bot and will likely give me the same form letter I've already received twice." This was coming after and I screenshotted. I screenshot the form letter that I got because it was the second time. It was just signed by a different person. Um, so I said, if that's going to be your response, I will just save us both time. Um, so I said, what is being ignored is the blatant example of feedback, and I think I even typed Facebook feedback extortion, which goes against eBay standards. And then I screenshot feedback. I cannot say feedback extortion. The definition of feedback extortion taken right from the eBay website, and the original message where the buyer ACIA-13 was attempting to extort me. Um, so they responded, I'm definitely happy to review the feedback and see what option we may have. However, to review, I'll need to verify those, the personal account details. So verified that. Perfect. Thanks, Bo. I've reviewed the feedback and the messages with your customer. I've gotten this removed as it does violate our extortion policy, and it was removed. So thank you, Kayla and eBay on Twitter. I didn't think that route. I didn't think I was going to succeed going that route. So if it wasn't a blatant extortion attempt, if it was just like didn't receive, and I went through my feedback a couple days ago on one of these episodes where a lot of it was just like never received card, and they never communicated with me. But I really don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to feedback. If somebody just leaves you, if you send a PWE, and it's not tracked and it's not delivered, they don't get it, they could just be pissed off. I didn't get the card. I'm going to leave negative feedback, even without communicating, asking for a refund. I think all of the negative feedbacks I received, none of them reached out to me to even ask for a refund. They just left me negative feedback. Never got it. I mean, I don't have a leg to stand on because that was a negative experience. I get it. Like, they didn't get the card. Now, personally, I take I take feedback a little seriously. So I'm not gonna, I'm gonna communicate with, if I buy something, I'm gonna communicate with them and say, hey, and usually I wait, I don't 10 days later, hey, I haven't got this yet. Well, guess what? The mail sucks right now. So anyway, so if it was one of those, I wouldn't take any time to fight the negative feedback. In fact, some of those I did reach out after the fact, and I'm like, hey, I'll give you a refund. Can you take the negative down? And no response. What I found, when people go straight to the negative feedback, they also don't check their messages, or they just did, like, moving on. Screw it. Screw you. Okay. Jenny, it's super easy. All you have to do is go into the help, just click help on eBay, type in block, and it's like the first thing that comes up. You can do it on the phone, you can do it on the website. It's super easy. Just go to help, type in block, and it's the first thing. It's like a little blue button, and it pops up. It populates the whole field. Ed said that name looked familiar, so I checked my block list on eBay. Sure enough, that user is on there. Can't remember why. I have a couple hundred on there. Must have been a good reason though. That's funny. I guess it's not funny, but it's ironic. Brad says, if you want, have the name of one of the sports card product directors help you fight that. This story and subsequent comments about this eBay user has me pondering how many hours of people's lives this D-bag has wasted. Right. And that's Kurt. That's a great point where, and some people last night were like, there was the let it go meme, and somebody else said something. And it's like, you know what? It's all about principle. And I may sound like I'm whining about this, but I don't want this to happen to other people, because if he did this to me, how many other people has he done this to? And will he continue to do this to? That's why I wrote that blog post about John Piowarski. I did some digging, and all of a sudden I see there's like 16 people complaining that this guy orders cards plain white envelope and then tries to claims they never got received. And it's like he's got a serious mail theft problem. And if you call him out, and that's I think I think that's why so many eBay users get away with these tactics, because we just kind of like block and move on. And that's how I used to react to it. It's like I'm just going to block, refund, block, move on. But then that just gives them more motivation to continue doing it. So if we can put a stop to it, screw you and your stupid top loader wanting ass. I'm gonna, not only am I gonna not refund you, not give you a stupid top loader, you got a damn card saver, you got the card in the condition you wanted. I'm gonna block, move on, and tell everybody else. And we're gonna stop your top load and wanton ways. That is why I do not offer refunds. And that's Brad, that's eBay can force refunds. So what happens when the whole refund issue is it's one of those algorithms where if you don't offer refunds, your listings will fall in the search. So your listings will fall below other people that do offer refunds. Same with handling time. I have a longer handling time, which hurts me on that algorithm, on that search algorithm. So if you have 1 day handling, you're going to be moved to the top of the line as opposed to 4-day handling or 3-day handling. Same with refunds. If you offer refunds or if you don't offer refunds, that's going to help or hurt you with that search algorithm. And not only that is eBay can force those refunds. Even if you don't offer refunds, there are some cases where eBay is going to step in and be like, you've got to refund this guy. It's the fact of it. You got a negative that wasn't deserved and have the right to stand up for yourself. It's slander. He's doing false claims against you. Principle and living life with integrity, only way. Absolutely. So yeah, it may come off, I know some people probably thought, oh, there's Bo, he's whining about a negative feedback, just move on. I'm not going to move on because it's all about the principle, and it was a complete blatant. Now, if I sent him a plain white envelope and it got lost in the mail and he never received it, left a negative feedback, I'm not going to fight that because he didn't get his card, even though he didn't communicate with me. Was it deserved? No, not really. But he did have a negative reaction to this transaction. I get it. I'm not going to fight those. But when you come at me and demand something that wasn't promised and try to extort negative feedback out of me and be an asshole, no, I'm going to fight this. I'm going to whine and complain and whatever words that some of these people with their memes and whining, you know what? That's the way it is. So let's move on to some fun talk. I lost 5 viewers. Don't want to hear my 23 minutes of me complaining about eBay feedback. So with that said, talk amongst yourselves. Oh, I just lost 2 more watchers. With that said, I'm going to walk over because I forgot to bring my binder in. So talk amongst yourselves for about 20 seconds. Okay. So this is a binder. Very cool binder. So Kurt's actually in the chat. So Kurt and I met in person, I think 2 years ago. We did an in-person trade. Been chatting on Twitter. In-person trade. He's on his way for the holidays to Michigan. So he's like, hey, I'm going to be going through. I've got some Cubs for you. And I know that his Pearl Jam cards got damaged in the bubble mailer that I sent last year, 2 years ago. So I have like 2 packs left. So I gave him 1 pack. 1 pack I'm going to keep for nostalgia. I guess it's not really, well, it's kind of nostalgia break. So Kurt, not only did he give me a Cubs cards, but he gave them to me in a binder, and he curated this binder. Now this is going to be awkward. But first off, since I mentioned Pearl Jam, he went to Ohana Festival and got that sticker. How cool is that? So I'm gonna keep this binder just because it was such a thoughtful gift trade. That normally I would just take if I acquire a binder, it's like, oh, I'll just take the cards and put them in a box. But this, like, I'm gonna keep this because it was such a thoughtful, awesome Cubs gift. Um, so I just got a text from Zach, and so Zach, I'm just gonna so Zach, I let me see if I because it wasn't who you texted me about. Let's see, I can't remember. But the person that I mentioned earlier about blocking that didn't receive PWEs lives in Florida. And I can't remember, but he's not on Twitter, so it's not the person that you texted me about. So this binder curated by Kurt, Mark Grace. Look at those diamond 89 Donruss Diamond Kings. Another Mark Grace page, 90 Donruss, 90 tops. This was like my first foray into like really going hardcore into pack buying and set building. 1990. Now here's some oddball stuff. Oddball Mark Grace. I don't know if you can see. There's are those Slurpee? I can't remember if those are 7-Eleven Slurpee. Let me see if I can pull one out. There's Mark Grace and Ryan Sandberg. Yeah, 7-Eleven Slurpee. Here's a closer look. So that's Mark Grace. And then on the back, 7-Eleven Slurpee. There's also a Sandberg, which I don't believe I have. 88 Tops Traded Grace. So there's a King B Sandberg right there in the middle. And I believe those are from the beef jerky, like the tins of beef jerky. So you could act like dad with your chaw. King B, I love that stuff. Legends of the West. Pretty sure that came at the bottom of those beef jerky cans. Let's see. Those Florida people. Now you know those Donruss got like 3 or 5 variations of each card. Yeah, and actually a small collection that I bought last year, the guy collected errors, and I've got to go through that binder because there was like some that I knew, like the 89 score Paul Gibson crotch shot. There was a couple others. So I've got to find that one. That looks like everyone's binder in the 90s. Heck yeah. Enjoyed curating it, brought me back to childhood. It's so cool. And same here. Like this was the era that I like really like my childhood collecting. More rhinos. You got that beautiful yellow 91 Fleer 89 tops, which still, like, every time I see 89 tops, especially Cubs, it whooshes me back 30 years. Some newer Sandbergs, Gallery, Fire, Baseball Card Magazine insert over there, oddball over there. And here, there's one card in here that I definitely don't have. Right there in the middle. How about this? Cracker Jack, Andre Dawson, still in the original Cracker Jack wrapper. This is cool. This is the stuff I love. Like, how cool it, like and there's one that's out, and it's like, oh cool, a Cracker Jack card. And I probably have a few of these. Cool, Cracker Jack card. But to have one still in the wrapper, still in the original unopened wrapper, that is super cool. I love this. I think this is probably my favorite card of the whole binder. And Andre Dawson is like one of my favorites. Some more. We've got Willie Hernandez down in the corner. My dad and I ate Cracker Jacks for months building those sets. That's awesome. I don't remember buying Cracker Jacks. I remember getting those cards. But I don't remember. Like, I remember like going to the gas deal. Like, oh, there's baseball cards in here. But I didn't buy too many. Sean Dunston, I totally ripped off the Cubs card. another. I say this, Ken will probably laugh because I say like, oh, he was my favorite. He was my favorite because I have like 77 favorites. 80. It came out before I started collecting, even though I started collecting in like 9, really. But it was old, and I didn't see too many of those. 84 tops, Jim Fry. What do we got here? We've got Sportflix Mitch Webster right in the middle. 77 top Steve Swisher up there. Here we've got Damon Berryhill. I had my friend's dad was our little league coach, and I remember like probably 1989 or 1990. He was like a beer league all-star, and he was a catcher. So he always said he was Damon Berryhill or Joe Girardi, one or the other. He was either Damon Berryhill and Joe Girardi sucked, or he was Joe Girardi and Damon Berryhill sucked. I can't remember. He was probably Joe Girardi because I think he was a lot better than Berryhill even early on. Look at that page of Dwight Smith, 90 Donruss. 90 Donruss. More Dwight Smith. Back to back, some rookies. Can you imagine how much these 3 or 4 pages of Dwight Smith rookie cards were worth in 1990? More Dwight Smith. Like, this is a gold mine. This is a 1990 gold mine. Jenny's 5 hours in Minnesota, live west Twin Cities, originally from north of Detroit. Here we got a Topps coin. Jerome Walton. He was my favorite Cub as a kid. Even says so on the back of my little league card. 89 Bowman. Ty Griffin down there in the corner. Love it. Here we've got some newer stuff, and I don't have too many heritage from this year. I only have, I think, 1 or 2 of the Ernie Banks, so I know at least 1 or 2 of those are new to the collection. I don't have the box topper Fergie Jenkins. It's a purple Jeremy Jeffries. David says, were the Ultra Pro 9 pocket paid a lot more stiff back in the day, or did they just get like that over time? A lot of these from back in the day were a lot stiffer. I remember, I don't remember having, like, now they're like really soft. I guess soft is kind of the term. But I think pages back in the day, I always remember having stiff pages as opposed to like what we have now. Here's some more heritage from last year. I'm starting to forget which year they're on. Some more new stuff, some Topps Gallery, Ian Happ. Yeah, the Bowman oriented sheets are really cool. New age performers from Heritage. I love those, especially when there's a Cub like Rizzo, PVC. Here we've got some prospects and rookies. And Doug DeCenzo, although he's on the next page. Paul Russell up in the top. We share an alma mater, Western Illinois University, who hired a new football coach. I'm super excited. Their new football coach, I have known since he was like a little kid and broadcasted his high school games. He's from Macomb. Earl Cunningham right there in the middle. Love it. Love that Earl Cunningham. Some more 89 and 90s. Rolando Rooms. That card was one of my, I love that card. I'm not going to say it was one of my favorites, but I love that card. Oh, what else do my arms are getting tired? Mike Harkey rookies, rated rookie, an upper deck rookie. And last page, we've got a Ty Griffin, 90 Bowman. Very cool. Kurt, thank you so much. I love it. And I'm going to keep it intact because it's just it's a cool, unique, thoughtful item. I absolutely love it. So that was my Sunday trade. Thanks for tuning in. That's what I had for today. So today's Monday. I'm going to be doing some adding to my eBay store. Crunching numbers. I had a decent weekend on sales, which is giving me a little momentum. And I'll probably talk, toward, in the next 10 days as we approach the new year. I've got to put together my goals for 2022 in blog form. which is going to be a lot different than the past 4 years in the 1 million Cubs project. So it's going to kind of be divided on business and hobby. So it's going to be interesting as I build the business. Uh, I'm going to have to. I've already taken a step back from the Cubs buying and trading as I continue to build. And obviously, I have the 50,000 goal for my eBay store, and so I'm going to be working on that here over the next week. Put together my hobby goals and just kind of give an update. It's been just past 2 months. I'm at the 2 month mark of going into business for myself. Where I'm at, how I'm looking projection wise. December is has been what I expected. I didn't do any shows, and I knew that going in, that I wasn't going to do any shows. Um, and Sales are always down in December, so it was just one of those things that even though it sucks, you look at the numbers, it's like, oh my god, how am I going to make this? But you come out of December, you go into January, and boom, you're back on top. So let's see. Herman, have a great day. Hopefully your little one feels better. Low Roller says, are you putting vacation mode in Christmas week? You don't have to ship to spend family time. No, I'm not. There's no reason to because I'm not traveling anywhere. Um, so my mom will come into town on Friday. So I'm up early. So any work that I do, like I'll wake up, get some shipping done in the morning. I don't know how sales will be. Sometimes it's a wave, and it's more like Thanksgiving Day. I saw a ton of sales, but since I'm at home anyway, um, there's it's I'll have less time. I won't be sitting at the computer listing items on eBay, but I'll have time to ship. So absolutely, will be selling through the week. David, have a great day as well. Jenny says my listings have 3 days, even though I ship next, but give me time. That's how I roll. I do 3 days, and I think my file exchange is set up for 4 days, just because. Especially as I scale up, I think I just want to have that 4 days built in, because if I'm shipping out 200 cards a day, I'm gonna I'm gonna need some time. Especially if even when I go out of town for like a day, like last weekend, I went out of town for a day, and it adds up. When you're selling X amount of cards in a day, if you leave for a day, it's twice as many. So, Ed, have a great day as well. Brad is going to go live. I did see his YouTube thing, so check out Brad this morning. Texas Card Dude, Herman. Herman, I don't know. Herman, I think, has family. So Herman, are you going live tonight? I misspoke last week, um, and was not a show. So I'll check with Herman if he's going to go live tonight. You're going to need a shipping department. I'm good for now. I have some numbers, and I have some numbers that once I start hitting those numbers, that's when I'll have to consider it. So I'm still below my daily numbers are below what they were in February, March. And I was doing that with a full-time job. So I know that I can exceed, and maybe even double, since I have that, extra 40 hours a week, that I can double that output. So I'm still quite a ways away from reaching that point. Do you ever think selling DVD, books, video games on your eBay store? Not really, because I don't know the market. I have some DVDs and books just from like personal collection, that I've considered just throwing on eBay, just because if I sell them for a few bucks, hey, cool. Otherwise, they're just sitting in a box. I'm not going to go to Goodwill or garage sales to find that stuff, because I'm going to stick to my lane. I know baseball cards, and more than anything, and then football, basketball, and then non-sports. I have somewhat, I can walk through the weeds on that stuff and get by, but I don't want to expand out to some of that other stuff, because And I know, especially when it comes to DVDs and books, it's really hard to make margins unless you find like that unicorn in the wild. And I just don't know those markets. So I'm going to stick to the markets I know. You'll be making six figures before you know it. Positive mindset, absolutely. And just grinding, and that's what it is. And like it's Monday morning, and I was excited. You know, I'm going to bed. Like I had trouble falling asleep because like in my mind, I'm like, okay, how am I approaching Monday? What's going to happen Monday? And then I wake up Monday morning, and early this morning, because I want to, boom, hit it. And I already shipped out 20 packages, have a bunch more to go, and then I want to hammer down because I want to hit that 50,000 mark in my eBay store. So that's it. I'll stop rambling. Texas Card Dude channel coming up later this morning. Check him out on YouTube. Herman is going to go live tonight, 7 p.m. Central, on 3B Collections channel. He'll be with Kin. So check those guys out tonight, 7 p.m. Central. Have a great Monday, and we'll talk tomorrow morning.